Good morning, I'm Charlotte McBride, and you're watching PA Harness Week. We have a very special show in store for you this week. It's all about the Poconos. We're here at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs, and we're talking all about Sun Stakes Saturday. The best of the best racing you can handle. It's all coming up right now. Take a look. 4 huge finals packed with high-speed races and the country's top talent. It all happened at Pocono Downs last Saturday night, and the PA Harness Week team was there for all the action. It's racing's fastest-paced half hour. It all starts right now from Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs.
There they go. Explosive Matter wins the Colonial easily. Underway. Starting fast outside here is Brett Messenger into the early. 5 and 4 the halftime. Just over 3 to go. At the top of the stretch.
Hello there, and welcome to another edition of PA Harness Week. This one's a biggie because Saturday night at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs, what can I tell you? It was as good as it gets. I mean, was it great or was it great?
It was more than great, incredible, fantabulous.
As my kids might say, in a word, it was swag.
Off the hook.
Woo, I like all that. But to let you know what kind of a night it was going to be, somebody put a picture on Facebook of what happened before the first race, just a picture of the track and the sky and whatever. It looked like a truly magnificent night, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was great, magical. And in the very first race, it was a preferred handicap trot. And this was a harbinger of things to come. You like that word, harbinger?
I do. I'll have to look it up later on.
Well, it's what I'm going to name my ark that I'm going to build if it doesn't stop raining anytime soon. What is this? When did June and July become April? I don't know. All right, let me set this up for you. This was basically a 2-horse affair, at least according to the Pocono bettors. It was Uncle Peter went off as the 1 to 9 choice, and Arch Madness, the hard knocker from the Tron Smetshammer stable, went off at 3 to 1. The rest all double-digit bombers. Let's have a look at this incredible mile.
Arch Madness doing it willingly at 3/4, 122 and 1, 27 and 1 in the back. Arch Madness with the lead. Uncle Peter still stalking there in the pocket. Much further back there on the inside is Keystone Thomas out wide. Holy Halibut at the top of the stretch. Here's the showdown now. Arch Madness on the inside. Uncle Peter comes at him from the pocket. Arch Madness and Uncle Peter. Uncle Peter is full of trot on the outside. Arch Madness sticking in. Uncle Peter.
How about that? Woo! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The teletimer did not lie. How about that? 150 and 1. Uncle Peter.
I was there. I was like, wow.
Well, Uncle Peter sat in the 2-hole while Arch Madness did all the work, cut all the fractions, and he just beat him by like this much at the very end. Amazing. 150 and 3, a new world record, the fastest mile by a trotter on a 5/8 mile track. Can you say ever?
Ever?
Ever. And it was Uncle Peter. And you got to talk to somebody about that, didn't you?
I did. I caught up with the trainer, Jimmy Takter, about this world champion.
You know it's going to be a great night of racing when you kick off the card with a world record. Uncle Peter trots to the fastest mile ever in the history of harness racing on a 5/8 mile track. Jimmy, I know he had a great trip, but honestly, I think the horse could probably do this with his eyes closed.
Well, it's like I've always been bragging about this horse, and unfortunately a lot of times he's been sick, you know, and coming up with all viruses as a 2- and 3-year-old. And I'm really proud over the horse. I was very happy for him to show what I know he have inside of him, and his body is like, you know, matured a little bit more.
Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you, Heather. Heather, did you ever think in your life that you would ever see a trotter trot in 150 and 3 on a 5/8 mile track when the standard used to be for a Miracle Mile 2 minutes?
Yeah. Oh, I did. I mean, how old do you think I am?
You're old enough to know that, I can tell you that. Okay, all right, the biggie of the evening was, well, there were so many of them. There were 3 $500,000 races. This was the big trot, named for one terrific guy who was instrumental in so many things happening for the state of Pennsylvania in harness racing. And sadly, as our Ron Battoni said last week, he was not around to see the fruits of his effort come to fruition. And that's Earl Beal. And with that, here's Heather.
Yes, I had the Earl Beal Memorial Final for you. As you said, $500,000 on the line. Number 9 is Smilin' Eli, the even money favorite. He's been undefeated in 4 races so far going into this one. Number 2, Don't You Forget It. And number 4 is Corky, both that go behind the gate for trainer this guy. Yes, his name is Jimmy Tactor.
Oh, yeah.
Royalty for Life made a break again this week, and Smile and Eli takes over the lead as they get to the quarter, 28 1/5. Smile and Eli, Tim Tetrick, there he is again, takes over the lead from Don't You Forget It, who loves working from that pocket. And it's Corky trotting third, a length and a half more to picture this. First over now, here comes Possessed Fashion. John Campbell going to try to speed things up on the lead. Following the cover there, FICO on the outside, Crystal Phenom 7th, and Celebrity Maserati. Royalty for Life not going to atone for the break this time. The half mile is 57 1, 29 even. Second panel, fractions are tepid here, and that's good news for the leader, Smile and Eli, by about a length on top of Don't You Forget It. Meanwhile, first over here comes Corky with David Miller brushing towards the leader. Possessed Fashion picked up that cover. Picture this is saving ground. Further back there to FICO, Crystal Phenom, and Celebrity Maserati. The lead down to a half length now for Smile and Eli, as on the outside, Corky's getting close. 3/4, 125 2, 28 1 in the back. Inside, Smile and Eli. Corky is even. Don't You Forget It is right there. Possessed Fashion coming up as well as FICO. Top of the stretch now. Smile and Eli gonna have to dig deep. Right to his outside is Corky. Inside, Don't You Forget It coming through. Late kick from Possessed Fashion. Don't You Forget It. Corky and David Miller. Corky for the win.
Royalty for Life, who was one of the favorites in here, goes off stride early in the race. So meanwhile, it's Smile and Eli takes command of the lead. He sets off the fractions, but here comes Corky. He's like the horse with the not very masculine name, you know, not strong sounding or anything, but he's the one who makes the boldest move. First up, wins in 154 3, pays $16.60. Third went to Don't You Forget It. Both of those horses, like I said before, Jimmy Tactor trainees. Second was Picture This. I got to catch up with the winning driver and the very muddy driver, David Miller, for more on the race.
You can't really tell, but actually David Miller's colors are purple and white. Still, though, looking great in the winner's circle tonight with Corky. The horse has really shown a lot of potential. He's been really good this year, but tonight was spectacular.
Yeah, he raced tough, first over and all, and he put away a real nice horse there. And, the horse he just seems to be getting a little stronger.
Did you have any concerns about the condition of the track?
Well, I talked to Jimmy there, and he confirmed. He said the horse has been on all types of surfaces, and this track tonight would not be a problem for him.
Thank you, David Miller, and take a shower. You need one.
Not because we think you smell.
No.
Yeah,
He's
okay,
a little,
clarify that.
A little muddy there, okay. All right, now it's time for the Earl Beal Consolation. 3-year-old trotters, $50,000 on the line. Number 1, Highbridge with Yannick Gingras was 9-5. Number 4, Bunko Solo with George Brennan, and number 6, Smoother Ride with Brian Sears were both 5-2. And with that call, here's Jim Avila.
All laid out now, a slight lead. Highbridge decided to get out while the getting is good. Went out 3 wide there. The inside opens up for Boffin. Top of the stretch, it's all laid out with a slight lead here. Highbridge, his momentum was stymied. Boffin is coming crashing through for Norris, but all laid out, and Andrew McCarthy.
Number 8, Dewey Color in the line, off at 9-2. Remember when they used to tell you to color in the line when you were a little kid? You're that old to remember that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. With Tim Tetrick cut the mile, while Highbridge sat in the 2-hole. Number 3, all laid out. A 10-1 shot with Andrew McCarthy came first up before blowing their doors off to win by 2 impressively in 153-1. Highbridge was second. Number 2, Boffin, a 25-1 bomber with Charlie Norris, got third. Me? Well, this is just me. I would have played an all-laid-out Boffin hunch exacta. They would have come in first and third, so I would have hit nothing, but that's just me.
That's just you.
Stick around. When we come back, we'll have more exciting action. This time we'll see the Ben Franklin. Don't go away.
Foiled again, first over, starts the grind about 3.5 away.
When it's your time to shine, what will you do? At Mohegan Sun, wherever tonight takes you, it's your time to shine.
Hi there, Kim Asabi, and welcome back to PA Harness Week. As promised, we have the Ben Franklin free-for-all final, $500,000 on the line, and our lovely Heather's got all the action for you.
Starring the older pacers in the sport. There's two co-favorites here at 2-1. First, I want to mention number 6 is Pet Rock. He was a beaten favorite last time out, but just lost by a neck in his limb. It was a really big effort. The other one, of course, is number 4. It's foiled again, the oldest in this race at age 9, North America's richest pacer.
And the oldest horse alive with 4 legs, right?
Not exactly, but that was a good guess. There was 3 eliminations last week for the Ben Franklin. His elimination went the fastest that he won.
The quarter is 25-4 in the slop. Modern Legend takes over here for John Campbell by a length and 3/4 over Better Than Cheddar, looking to defend his title here. Inside, Dynamic Youth third. Now it's Razzle Dazzle and Brian Sears gliding up first over, pulling along, foiled again with him. Also on the outside, up the credit is 6th. Dynamic Youth back to 7th. Also back there, Clear Vision and Pet Rock. New leader on the outside, Razzle Dazzle, the half, 54-1, 28-2. Second panel, Razzle Dazzle easily clears Modern Legend. Better Than Cheddar now stymied on the inside, foiled again, first over, starts to grind about 3.5 away. In behind that, up the credit, showing pace now, is foiled again, is in full gear. Dynamic Youth 6, Pet Rock coming to life. Up top here, Razzle Dazzle dealing with foiled again on his flank. They come to 3/4 in 121-1, 27 even on the back. Razzle Dazzle on the inside, foiled again, is just a half a head away. Up the credit, coming out 3 wide from far back, Pet Rock. Still in the pocket, there is Modern Legend, a wall of horses at the top of the stretch now. Slight lead there for Razzle Dazzle. Outside, foiled again. Late kick, far back, Pet Rock. Pet Rock, foiled again. Pet Rock, foiled again. Foiled again! I believe foiled again wins the photo there.
Is there anything that foiled again can't do? Like, seriously, I went by his barn a couple weeks ago, and he just whipped me up like a spinach and cheese omelet. Horse is amazing. Pet Rock raced super too. He ended up being a 2nd. He was right there. In this race, foiled again ends up going over the $5 million mark. There are only 2 horses that have made more money in harness racing.
Who are they?
Than foiled again. Money Maker, appropriately named, and Varenne. Both of them are trotters. So will foiled again end up surpassing what they made, and he ends up being the richest harness horse of all time, trot or pace? Well, our Kelly Connors caught up with trainer Ron Burke, and we want to know what he thinks about that.
Probably as excited as I've been in a long time. You know, it's one of the 3 best races we've had. So it was really exciting, and I was really happy for him and, for all of us.
Do you foresee him slowing down? Do you have any hesitations that he wouldn't surpass and break the record as the richest harness horse of all time?
No, as long as he finishes this year up strong, next year starts with the Levy again, and that's one of his favorite places to make money. So, I think he has a legitimate shot. Is it a guaranteed? No, nothing's guaranteed, but he has a legitimate shot.
I didn't mind the second over trip. Razzle Dazzle is a live horse, and I figured he'd get me where I need to go. But when he cleared, I like my chances.
Okay, let's move on now to the Ben Franklin Consolation. This was no small prize. A great race, too. Only 5 went behind the gate, but 5 superstars indeed. The longest shot was Fred and Ginger, who went off at 8-1. Number 1, Sweet Lou from the Ron Burke stable with Yannick Gingras was 6-5. Number 3, Bolt the Doer was 2-1 with Mark McDonald. And number 4, Heston Blue Chip with Tim Tetrick was 5-2. And here's the call.
Nothing's changed up front. They're at 3/4 and 121 even. 25-4 on the back. Heston Blue Chip. Tetrick going to the whip there. Right in behind them is Bolt the Door. Further back to Sweet Lou on the outside. Now Fred and Ginger 4th. Top of the stretch. It's Heston Blue Chip out of the pocket. Bolt the Door coming after him. Bolt the Door and Heston Blue Chip. Bolt the Door taking over.
Heston Blue Chip set the pace of the stretch when Bolt the Door did him in, winning by 2 in 1:47-4. Maybe I should repeat that. It sounds ultimately important. 147-4, a new world record. Can you believe it? He tied his own world record set in the Audios last year at the Meadows. 147-4. Unbelievable. Sweet Lou, he got third. And when we come back, we'll have the Hempt final for you. Don't go away. It's worth $500,000. Where would you go?
Captaintracherous in perfect striking position. Second over for Tetrick.
Feel the action. Get a taste of victory. Spice things up. And play to win. Mohegan Sun, off-track wagering. Allentown, Carbondale, East Stroudsburg. Always leave happy.
Hello there, harness racing fans, and welcome back to PA Harness Week. She's headed by Tally. I'm Steve Ross, and it's time to take a look at the $500,000 Maxi Hempt Memorial Pace. It's going to be a goodie. It was great. And why do you get to do all the finals and I get to do all the consolations?
Because you're the consolation guy.
What's up with that?
All right, we've got 3-year-old pacing colts and geldings here. Number 9 is Captaintracherous.
I've heard of him.
Yes. He's a 7-5 favorite here. He has the 9 post, I know. But seriously, he could start from post position 25, I think, because he has got so many jaw-dropping miles so far this year. Once again, he has to contend with number 7, though. Vegas Vacation. He hasn't been able to beat the captain yet this year, but I'm telling you, Vegas Vacation has really been ringing the doorbell, knocking on the door really hard. He's been super, super good. I'm just going to tell everyone now, I already know this is a good race. I've seen it, okay? I am not going to do a play-by-play after the race. I will briefly touch on the winner. I want to get to those interviews. They are great. The race is great. Keep your eyes and your ears open and soak it in.
Rockin' Amadeus just churning up the slop here. And on the outside, Sunfire Blue Chip coming up with Yannick Gingras to go right on by Rockin' Amadeus. And now here comes Word Power with Corey Callahan into third. Inside fourth, Martini Hanover. Captaintracherous follows the cover on the outside. Also out there now, Emeritus Maximus. And further back there is Johnny Rock. The half is 53-3, 27-3. Second panel unconscious fractions here. Up top, Sunfire Blue Chip pressured on the outside by Word Power. Inside is Rockin' Amadeus. Captaintracherous in perfect striking position. Second over for Tetrick. Emeritus Maximus coming up from far back. Big move being made by Vegas Vacation. New leader here is Word Power as they get to 3/4 in 121-1, 26-2 on the back. Word Power still there. Inside, Sunfire Blue Chip fighting on. Here comes Captaintracherous. Vegas Vacation firing from far back. Rockin' Amadeus still there. Top of the stretch, Sunfire Blue Chip digging in. Now on the outside, here's Captaintracherous making his best move. Sunfire Blue Chip, Captaintracherous, Vegas Vacation to the line. Captaintracherous does it again.
Captaintracherous wins in 149-2 over a sloppy track. And
Sloppy?
just when you think he's not going to get there, he does. It's like a race out of a movie. It's like, deep breath.
If you bet this horse every week, you have to be having palpitations because it looks like he's not going to get there, but he always does.
He does. He does. Vegas Vacation, big effort at the end of the mile for him. Just a neck back. Sunfire Blue Chip was third. I caught up with the connections. That's trainer Tony Alanya and driver Tim Tetrick for their reactions.
That was exciting. How great was that?
Let's just say I think I have a calf muscle injury after jumping up and down at the finish line. So, I mean, you know, it's such an exciting race. We knew it'd be action-packed. I mean, I wish it hadn't have rained tonight, of course, but that was just an amazing mile tonight that the horse went on that track after the rain. And, you know, it just shows, you know, he's truly a champion. You know, the horse refuses to lose races. When he dropped in 2 wide and he was no longer 3 wide, I was no longer concerned. I still thought he could win the race. I mean, that's how much confidence I have in the horse. That's how much confidence I have, you know, in Timmy, and you know, everything worked out right, you know. And I mean, working for Brian Penske and Irv Miller, you know, I've been around a lot of good horses, and I've never been around a horse like this. I mean, he is a great horse.
Well, he's a good horse, and good horses find ways to win. And, I trust him a lot, and I put him in spots where he's got to earn it, and he always does. So I put a lot of trust in him, and he's never let me down. So, I'm happy to get to drive him.
Thank you, guys. Very interesting stuff. The only thing was I saw the captain, but where was Tennille?
That is a great question.
Thank you.
Love will keep us together.
Sadaka is back. Okay, time to go on with more racing, and this is the Hempt Consolation. Let me tell you this about the Consolation. Every Consolation went faster than the final. I'm doing the Consolations, you're doing the final. Now, forget the fact that there was a torrential downpour that might have had something to do with that fact. It don't matter, because, as the wise men once said, what is and what in.
I like that.
Okay, good. Here's the Hempt Consolation. Ready? In one of last week's Hempt limbs, Lone Wolf Courier finished off the board at 2-5. But the Pocono bettors were undaunted. In the Hempt Consolation, they made him 4-5 from the 5-hole with Brian Sears. Stubborn cusses, ain't they? Well, there were 3 5-1 shots. Number 3, Good Day Mate with Ron Pierce. Number 2, Dee Dee's Dragon with Matt Gicaley. And number 4, Beach Memories with Yannick Gingras. And here's the call.
Beach Memories is pacing a nasty mile here, but still work to do. Up 2 over Some Kind of Beach. Dee Dee's Dragon now tips to the outside. Third, top of the stretch, Some Kind of Beach. And that's still Beach Memories, I should say. Some Kind of Beach outside Dee Dee's Dragon. Beach Memories with the lead. Dee Dee's Dragon reeling him in somewhat. Beach Memories looking for the line. Beach Memories and Yannick Gingras.
Beach Memories, after sitting in for quarters, set sail to the lead. Won it by a length in 148.3. Which tied a world record, yet another world record, at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs on Saturday night. Dee Dee's Dragon was second. Number 1, Some Kind of Beach, off at 6-1 with Andy Miller got third. You think we're done? We ain't. We got more coming up at you. The James M. Lynch Memorial, a $300,000 race is coming in your face. Don't go away.
Here comes David Miller with She Be Stingin', and I Love the Nightlife is stinging. She Be Stingin' now.
Tonight, it's ladies' night. The lights are low, and the stakes are high. Sometimes ladies' night is just a date night in disguise. At Mohegan Sun, wherever tonight takes you, it's your time to shine.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. It's PA Harness Week. She is Heather, and I am Steve, and you are you, and you're in store for a great race on Saturday night. It was magical at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs. This time, 3-year-old fillies on display, the $300,000 James M. Lynch Memorial, named for the old racing secretary, legendary, now shuttered Liberty Bell Park. And here's Heather with that.
I want to explain something to everyone. You've been watching the show, you've seen the drivers, they've been all muddy and everything. Well, it was right before the Lynch when the rain came down. The night was so gorgeous, no rain, and then all of a sudden, it was right before that 9th race, there was a gigantic downpour, all the drivers running back to the locker room, putting their colors on, their rain suits on, and everything like that. So this is when it happened, right before the Lynch.
Did you have a fancy outfit on that got mud on it, or no?
Honey, I stay dry. The rain does not touch me. Okay, anyway, so in a matter of minutes, the track went from fast to sloppy. So this is the first race that this happened. I Love the Nitelife. She's had 4 out of 5 races this year. She is in with a very tough group. She's got the 8 post, but still she's the favorite, 7-5. Number 5 is She Be Stingin'. Just got beat last week. She was so good last year and she got injured. She's come back though, fantastic. Gutsy little gal right here.
I Love the Nightlife, forced wide early, but has the lead. Now on the outside, here comes David Miller with She Be Stingin', and I Love the Nightlife is stinging. She Be Stingin' now as she tries to clear. Inside, Nikki Beach is third. Charisma Hanover tips over, first over. She Be Stingin' does clear for the lead. Authorized follows the cover, as does Somewhere Over a Rainbow. Then you've got Jersey Licious fading to the back. Maddie Terra girl, Miss Kayla J. Froz out of it. The half 54-1, 27-3. Second panel, slop or no slop. They are flying here. Up top is She Be Stinging. On the outside, Charisma Hanover trying to reel her in there. Inside, I Love the Nightlife has lost a bit of ground, about a length and 3/4 back. Meanwhile, the pursuit on the outside, Authorizes fading as Nikki Beach takes over fourth, but is about 6 away. Up top, it's still a slight edge for She Be Stinging. 3/4, 121 even. 26-4 there on the back. She Be Stinging holding off Charisma Hanover. I Love the Nightlife showing once again on the inside, coming from far back somewhere over Rainbow. Top of the stretch, She Be Stinging is still there. Here comes I Love the Nightlife to make her move. She Be Stinging on the inside. Outside, I Love the Nightlife just gonna burn right on by.
I Love the Nightlife jets out of the outside post. She's able to travel around the track behind She Be Stinging. She ends up pacing home the fastest, though. That's I Love the Nightlife. Ends up winning 150 flat. Still isn't off track. She becomes a millionairess for Chris Ryder. Chris Ryder, if you remember, he was a trainer of the champion. Put on a show, who was extremely rich and actually was the fastest filly of all time in harness racing. So Chris knows his ladies. I got to catch up with the connections of I Love the Nightlife.
Is this another put on a show?
You know, she's just doing so much. I'm really hesitant to compare her to Put on a Show. You know, she was her own horse. She was one of our all-time favourites. But, you know, Nightlife is just doing so much. She's just winning and winning and winning. And her record is every bit as good as Put on a Show's. And, you know, all credit to her.
Thank you. Very interesting stuff. And you know what? When you look at a night like that happened in the past couple of Saturday nights at Mohegan Sun and Pocono Downs, they don't happen magically. You don't get the best horses in the country to show up. You give away a lot of money and whatever. You put these fields together. They're highly competitive. It's a great night for the sport, great night for the fans. But again, the guy that was responsible for this mostly is Racing Secretary Rick Kane at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs. Him, along with Jen Starr, who does a great job and wears great hats all the time as well. Ron Battoni and all those folks that put it all together. The great night that happened the past couple of Saturday nights. And Charlotte McBride caught up with, who did she catch up with, by the way?
Rick Kane.
That's right. Rick, I just mentioned him, didn't I?
I know.
She is on top of everything, this woman. She's amazing.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with the race secretary here at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs, Rick Kane. Rick, such a huge night you guys had for Sun Stakes Saturday. What kind of night was it? What was the atmosphere like here?
Well, you know, it was an exciting night. Everybody loved it. And I don't think the rain really dampened anybody's spirits. Everybody got a little wet, including me in the winner's circle, but it was a great night of racing.
Such an incredible night. Top talent, top drivers, top horses, but it's not finished because we're going to see some of those guys again back here. You were talking about another big day that's coming up this summer.
Absolutely. That's going to be on August 17th, which is the Super Stakes Saturday here. And it's just another, I guess you could say Pocono has their own personal Triple Crown. Because the third leg of that will be the Breeders' Crown in October.
And we'll look forward to that, and we'll be here, of course, for it all. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rick, and congratulations, major kudos and accolades for a job well done with the past couple of weeks, including the Sun Stakes Saturday that took place. It was just epic. Hats off to you. Okay, we're plumb out of time. For all of us here at PA Harness Week, including Bruce Casella, Kelly Connors, Charlotte McBride, and my lovely partner here, Heather Vitale, I'm Steve Ross, reminding you to pick up the pace and get high on harness.
It's only natural.
There they go. Explosive Matter wins the Colonial easily. Underway. Starting fast outside Eric Messenger to the